Hey Bears fans, Will DeWitt, Nicholas Moreano here. We are making the case for some college prospects heading into the NFL draft for the Chicago Bears. Now, before we get to today's player, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. That way you don't miss any of our Bears content all year long. I promise you won't regret it. But let's go ahead and get into today's Making the Case video, and we're going to make the case for the Bears to draft Noah Sewell, the linebacker out of Oregon. Now, last year he had 56 tackles, 5.5 for loss, 1.5 sacks, and an interception. He's listed at 105th on PFF's Top 150, but all the way up to 55th on Mock Draft Database. Nick, there's a lot to like about this player. Obviously, he has some family ties with his brother being a former first-round pick, Penny Sewell, but I love that he's what I'll call a true thumper in the box.
Yeah. He is a thumper, no doubt about it. But what I really like about Noah Sewell and what he's capable of doing for the Bears or any defense that he's in, he does provide some versatility where you're going to see him at. He does traditionally play the Mike linebacker in Oregon's defense, but you'll see him drop back in coverage. You'll see him on the edge. You'll see him running twists with some of the defensive linemen. So versatility in what the defensive coordinator can do with a guy like this. So he's an all-around linebacker. Again, gives you options for as a defensive play caller.
He has good size, 6'3", 250. I like his his block shedding ability to kind of get into and get after quarterbacks. And even not just that, but even in space. So when linemen come up to the second level, he's able to shed those blocks and make plays against the run. And he has that quick burst to pull the trigger and that urgency to go downhill and make plays. And when he makes contact, you notice when he does. Like I said, he is a thumper in the box, but he's not a perfect prospect. The one thing that I've noticed is that he's not like a pure athlete. Like, he's quick, he has versatility, but he's not the most rangy kind of guy. And that makes me concerned that he may be pegged as like a pure Mike linebacker in the Bears defense. And if the Bears like Jack Sanborn as much as I believe they like Jack Sanborn, I don't know if you can draft Sewell and anticipate him being like a really good will linebacker.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point, Will. I think the other thing, too, like I mentioned, he can drop back into coverage. I just think the instincts are not the greatest there. He kind of reacts after the ball is thrown, and you would like to see him maybe be in an even better position. But he gets there. It's just the play's already been made, and then he kind of gets the tackle afterwards. And that's kind of maybe the limitations of not being the greatest athlete like we were just talking about. But still, he's not going to let the big play happen. You would also like to see somebody that can also prevent the play in general.
That's more than understood. Let's go ahead and make the case for Sewell and why he may make sense. So I think the big one is that the Bears just need bodies. They need to continue to add to the linebacker position. And he could, even though I said he couldn't be the will, there isn't a reason why he couldn't be the Sam linebacker on this team. He does thrive as a run defender. He can hold his own in coverage, I believe, against tight ends. So even though he may not be a will, and the Bears most likely already have their middle linebacker in Jack Sanborn, you could have Sewell be a younger option at the Sam backer instead of having to rely on some veterans.
Yeah, and I like that too. The younger option at the Sam backer, something that the Bears currently don't have. And with that size, I think he'd be suited to play that position and exceed if he were to get on the Bears and they'd peg him right there to do that for Alan Williams' defense. But again, you need those type of linebackers, especially in this defense. The Bears kind of had a revolving door this season once the injuries piled up. So Noah Sewell would definitely be a nice upgrade and a younger, cheaper one at that.
Hard-hitting, playmaking linebacker. He has a high motor. Who knows? Maybe he makes a lot of sense for the Chicago Bears, but that's going to do it for our case on him here today. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the CHGO Sports channel. That way you don't miss any of our amazing Bears content all year long. You're not going to want to miss it.